recently when Putin was in China, that picture of Modi, Putin, and
The
Xi Jinping,
Tianjin.
yeah, shaking hands, and then the Putin visit. How is the ASEAN region looking at this? Are they admiring, or are they wondering whether the world is looking at this strategic neutrality, which Asia likes to say that, all countries of Asia practice this. When I say Asia, I mean ASEAN region by and large. That this neutrality, this strategic autonomy, these terms which we like to use in Asia, is it something that they say that okay, now the world is kind of understanding it, if not accepting it, and if they are understanding it, Europe and America will not pressurize us. Is that a right way of seeing it? No.
No, I mean they don't have. We don't see these countries don't have that collective bargaining power, that level of bargaining power. We have seen a country that has bargaining power and that has bargained successfully with Donald Trump, and that is China. They have that bargaining power. They have that leverage. They've built that leverage. That leverage does not exist in other
Yeah, sure.
Asian
But if you're
countries.
G1 and G2, you can bargain
So how did you get to be G2? You
Yeah.
got to be G2 with a lot
with
of
the economy.
with
Yeah.
the economy, right? So but the others don't have that. They don't have so they can't bargain for strategic autonomy. They look at their strategic autonomy is what ours is, which is I will be friends with you and I will be friends with you. I will do both. So but they don't have what we have. We are a large country and a large economy. They are not all of them are that way. But they look at, see, in the global south, Putin and Russia don't have the same level of, the same, shall we say, appearance or the same image that he has in the West. They don't. There are people who, particularly in Asia, in Africa, in Central America, there are countries that will tell you that when we were in difficult situations, the Russians came to help. And the Americans put in too many conditions. The Europeans put in too many conditions. So that is there. Are they going to violate everything that America stands for or the West stands for to go and stand with Putin? Probably not.
You were mentioning Indonesia, and you said these are countries like Indonesia or even India, for that matter, civilizational countries. Is it the time for these civilizational countries to assert themselves? Do you think that they will be able to assert themselves against Western pressure, especially when you're looking at Europe getting fragmented, not really behaving like a union, confused at this state?
No.
Okay.
One, because if there is one part of the world that is really hurting from Donald Trump's policies, it is the West. It is Europe. It is Canada. These regions are hurting way more than we are. I mean, the national security strategy, Trump's NSS actually says that Europe faces civilizational erasure.
So that's what I'm saying. So is it
There
time
is no
for
pressure, so they don't have the ability to exert pressure.
So that's what I'm saying. So Asian countries, which have been civilizational countries, so it's time to understand that somewhere now there's a balance, no? So this Western way of pressurizing the smaller nations will decrease when they have their own internal compulsions.
Yeah, that is
That will
that
happen.
is the European way. The Americans, in fact, if you look at the NSS again, and anyway, Trump, this is part of the MAGA worldview anyway. That they do not want America to be the hegemon anymore. That you withdraw. You only get into a conflict when it directly impacts your interests. This whole thing of मैं आपके घर में भी घुस के आपको इधर भी ये करूँगा उधर भी करूँगा, ये नहीं. This is no longer the ruling philosophy of the Trumpian world, and definitely not of Trumpian America.
But when they come to the White House and they do the same thing, no?
See, what are they doing? He is showing you two things. He has said that the Western Hemisphere is mine. I will control the Western Hemisphere. Draw that line. Greenland, Canada, Mexico, South America. That entire hemisphere is his, is what he's saying. So he's sending boats to Venezuela. So as somebody said, the Colombia is your platform, Guyana is your hedge, and Venezuela is the target. So
Okay.
it's a if that is your worldview right now, that also tells you why he wants Greenland, why he wants Canada to be his 51st state. So you build yourself, you wall yourself geographically in a strategic manner. You retain the ability to strike at any part of the world from the landmass of America, which you have done, and you remain able to be the technological, military, financial power that is unassailable. That is the worldview that Trump.
Oh, nice. No, matlab, stay out of Asia. Lovely.
Huh.
Right. But if they do,
So-
there's a vacuum then.
No, there is a vacuum.
So who will
Does China have the ability to pick up the pieces? I don't think so.
Do they ever have that kind of a strategic vision, a long-term vision to want to be that security guarantor?
No. They don't. They have the vision. They don't have the desire. They do not have the desire to do it. They will tell you that your Belt and Road is more or less my way of operating in doing out of area operations.
So expansion for them is only that. It's not territorial. It is not security related.
It is territorial if
to
you look
some
at
extent.
yes,
The islands and
yes, and it is Taiwan and
Here too. Arunachal and-
Arunachal, Eastern Ladakh. The territorial, definitely. They don't do territorial expansion in the way the Western powers do. Their territorial expansion is
immediate border.
no, by what is called salami slicing.
Yes. Okay.
Take a little bit, and then tomorrow I will take a little bit more. It goes like that.
But they don't want air bases and they don't want to put their army like.
So they
America.
tried, okay. So they tried Hambantota. It didn't go very far. They've tried Gwadar. You can see that if you do Gwadar, I can make your life difficult just by lighting up CPEC.
The oil.
No, just CPEC itself becomes, if CPEC itself becomes a state of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Gwadar becomes difficult. And there are other ports that you can have in the region that that can be foiled or counter to Gwadar itself. So it's not like they've not tried. They have, definitely. They do it in Djibouti, but it's not. They are not the only people in Djibouti. Everybody else is also in Djibouti.
Yeah.
The Americans are there. The UAE is there. The French are there. So if everybody is in one place, then you have.
India's not.
India doesn't need to be there.
Why? Suez?
Not at
No.
all. Not
Okay.
at all. Not in Djibouti. You don't need to be in Djibouti. There are other places which are of interest to us. And I think that.
But if we are planning that we are going to be a maritime power,
we
are
are
going
a
to be all
maritime
that.
power.
Okay.
We are a maritime power. The only thing that we need to do is to grow.
Okay.
We are a maritime power. We are a provider of security in the region. We like to operate by ourselves, but we have evolved also. In the last, we haven't, it's not for nothing that we are a part of the, what is called the CMF 150. We've never done that. We are now flying under somebody else's flag that is not the United Nations. That is important. That's a very, very big
Significant.
shift. We are the entire work on piracy in that region, in the Horn of Africa. So much has been done by India.
Okay.
So we are a power. We are a maritime power. Yes, we grow. We need to grow a little more. Sure, there is always room to grow. We should grow, but we have serious maritime assets, and we have serious maritime projecting power. So
that doesn't make China nervous?
of course,
It does.
but it's okay. We stay nervous about a lot of what they do. It's time that they also start getting nervous a little bit about us.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie।